All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, 8 a.m., hour number 2 underway. We got Tyler Watts coming up at 9 o'clock. Get his early thoughts on Alabama, Georgia, what happened through the bye week. We've got Larry Williams. What's happening in Clemson? He'll attempt to give us some answers at 9:20, and 20 minutes from now, Nick De La Torre covers the Florida Gators. How is this going to be handled moving forward with Billy Napier? Are you on the same page as me? As Billy Napier in Florida, Greg, we don't like to call for jobs. We don't like to sit here and say people deserve to get fired, but I think we're all intelligent enough to know when something's over, and this thing's over. It just is. I don't know another way to go with
it. I don't know how you get back. It makes me sad. I hate it. I don't want anyone to lose their job. But I don't know how you correct it. I don't know how it gets fixed. What you got going on?
Let's see what this is. Let's see.
What you got? How are we looking?
You think I should go?
Is it a fire alarm?
What does it say?
It just says it didn't say fire. It said an emergency has been reported. All occupants walk to the nearest stairwell. What's the emergency? I need to know that first before I just go walk down the halls.
Yeah, I'm not just going to follow your lead without you telling me.
I'm also probably not going to be doing a radio show with that beeping and that guy talking in the background for the next however long. So
I can carry it until you need to go, do what you need to do.
Let's get through these sacks first. I think I had 2 left.
That's the emergency.
There might be a fire in the floor right below me, but I really need to talk about the slide protection epidemic.
It looked like a fire drill with a lot of what's happening with Auburn's protection. I'll go back to play 79, Greg, and this is late in the game. 3rd and 25 in the 4th. The ball is on the 8. You essentially are getting it's kind of a 4-man rush, but you got a looper coming back around. Jackson Arnold just needs to be decisive and go. Like he's trying to keep his eyes downfield.
This is the last sack you're talking about?
It's the second to last sack.
Second to last, gotcha.
Grayson Halton, 56, literally comes from one hash to the other to be able to tackle him, and I don't even qualify this again as a sack. Like this is a quarterback deciding to move around, leave, and then being taken down behind the line of scrimmage. So, I guess one player 77 could have probably stepped in front of him and gotten a piece of him, but that's awareness again of you got to try to make a play, and then the last sack is just getting whipped. I do think it's funny that
they're right side.
I've seen some
honestly,
Oklahoma.
I don't think the chip helped. I think that was a weird one because they tried to chip, they tried to help, but if
you're going to chip, you got to go attack, right? Like you got to go get him. You don't sit there and wait on him.
Like R. Mason really went speed to power bull rush, and you can't chip a bull rush. You know what I mean? I don't know how you do that. So I think that made it a little tricky.
But I think you need to get a little bit of width initially. And then as soon as you see it, you have to go attack the rib cage. That's where a full slab comes from when they're trying to bull rush you. But that would have had to happen quick. And Zero actually was really good in pass protection in this game. So I kind of hate it for him on this play individually. But that's just getting your fanny kicked. I don't know another way around it. I mean, that's ugly. But I do think it's cute how people are saying that the rest of the Oklahoma D-line said that they weren't going to rush on that play because he said he was going to get the sack. When 44 and 0 literally run into each other trying to run a twist. I don't rush either when I run into my own guy. I mean,
what?
Sorry.
I'm so confused. They said that? Is that like a story?
After the game, a couple of guys said, we didn't even rush on that play because R. Mason Thomas told us he was getting to the quarterback and not to worry about it. And then they run a twist, and they run a tackle, twist, and they literally run into one another.
Gotcha. You know what I would do if that were the case? I would have as the coach of the defensive line, I would sit there and say, all right, everybody take your pencil out. We're going to grade effort on the last play. You told the media that we weren't rushing on the last play. Give yourself how many minuses can you fit in that box? Go ahead and fill it up right now with minuses, if that's factual. You tell the media you didn't work hard on that play? What are you doing?
All right, I'm going to let you guys manage this for a second. John, turn my microphone off. I'm going to go see if I need to leave or I don't know. I don't even know what I'm going to do right now. But, we'll figure something out.
Why don't you just go and make sure that things aren't like, I don't know, burning to the ground.
Yeah.
We have a call
I'll leave
anyways.
the camera on so you guys can see if it gets really bad.
Perfect.
I'll put it by the front door.
I really
right
want to
there.
see
There you go.
that for sure. I didn't think you were wearing pants, and now I've confirmed it.
No,
after
pants.
You just
Got them. There they are.
Yeah,
Shorts.
No, not
We're
pants.
good.
No.
Yeah. Well, yeah, shorts, but bottom
Those
is
look
covered.
like boxers to me. Those look like old man boxers.
No,
But I don't know.
He does seem like the one
as
that
everybody,
would have those suspenders
everybody runs
with the
to
socks.
YouTube.
Yes, the suspenders are holding the socks.
Oh,
out.
wow.
Correct. Yes.
That'd be fantastic.
That's what I anticipated.
Okay,
All right, go
please
be
mute me
safe
so
and
people
come
don't
on
have to
back.
hear this
We're gonna
anymore.
talk a couple people off the ledge. Let's take some phone calls here, John. Because I look at it and honestly, man, like if I'm Auburn, I'm disappointed, no doubt. Like I am absolutely disappointed. I'm frustrated. I feel like one potentially got away. All that is fair. But in reality, like I just gave a team that I think is one of the best in college football. I just gave them all we wanted. Like to me, that feels pretty good. So let's take some phone calls on this 205-834-9450. Let's start with Rich in Albertville. Rich, what's going on, my friend?
What's up? Good morning, Greg. How are you doing, buddy?
How are you, buddy? What's happening?
Good. Hey, you did a great job on that call Saturday.
I appreciate it.
I watched it twice, and you made a lot of valid points, especially when you were counting off Jackson Arnold. You know, as long as he's holding the ball, that has transitioned to the new team. And that was one of the recurring things when he was at Oklahoma. He's held the ball too long, and that's who he is. I don't think you can get that out of somebody. You know, the special teams is a liability for Auburn. I don't know how we gotten so bad over the years. We used to be pretty decent at special teams, but it's horrific. You can't even make a field goal from 30 yards out, and you know. Auburn had plenty of chances in Oklahoma, gave them plenty of chances to win that game, and they whiffed. Again, I had zero confidence in that last drive that Auburn was going to win that game because they didn't show through the whole game that they won't. I won't say that they didn't want to win the game. They didn't prove that they had it in them to win the game. You know, Cam Coleman, stopped on a route and got overthrown how many times by Jackson Arnold? Not only Cam, but several other players. I mean,
no, there was one other one too. Cam had one, and then there was another one where it looked like it was going to be perfect, and he stopped, and we found it. We actually showed it. He stopped his route, and I don't know what the deal was there. Yeah, they did that in the
South Alabama game too.
I know.
So they're not completing the routes.
And I don't really know, like, I don't know if he saw a safety over the top, because I thought the safety was still too far inside to justify sitting it down. Like, sometimes against zone, your receivers, hey, don't run to get covered. Don't run into a zone where a guy is occupying it, so you slow your route down. But I felt like the safety was way inside when I watched it back, and I don't know what he saw. And that's a big play left on the field. There were a few of those.
That's 14
That's
points
why it's
right
hard. It's hard. Yes, one for sure. The one throw in the end zone was just missed. I mean, there's no denying that. Cam's got 3 steps on the defender, double move, should have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. That's the margins in this league. You miss it, it's a game. It's a total game changer.
How many times has Auburn driven down to the 10-yard line and come away with nothing? Nothing. And it's been like this for the last 2 seasons.
It's because you can't run the
does
football.
feel like
It's because you cannot traditionally run the football is the reason why. So you go to reverses and you go to quick throws and pop passes. That's an easy explanation. You got to move people to be able to run the football down there. Go look at Florida against Miami. They run an end around. They run a screen. They run a pass to the back in the flat. You have to be able to run the football in the red zone. Traditionally run the ball. Like power run game has to work in the red zone, or it's going to be hocus pocus. That's it. It's pretty simple.
Well, quarterback run should be your friend. Like, you can do it. Like, that's kind of
where I would try to live. Yeah.
In the red zone, I'm quarterback run all day long and twice on Saturday, baby. Like, it is what it is. I don't want to expose my quarterback to injury, but guess what? Put in Ashton Daniels. But he's, I think at this point they're probably thinking about having him probably play as little as possible. Maybe they try to redshirt him. Who knows exactly what they do there, but I don't think they want to put him in the game unless they have to. But, man, quarterback run, baby. Like, let's go. The other thing, too, like you got Eric Singleton, and a lot of their red zone stuff runs through Eric Singleton. I'm great with that, by the way. I think it's smart. I think he's got a lot of juice. There needs to be some jet sweep misdirections. Like they had the one where Eric Singleton swung out in the flat. Probably is a touchdown if you run that play to the field. Instead, they ran to the boundary. They ran out of room. Like just there's a few there right now with Auburn's red zone operation. There's a few too many issues with motion and timing. And if you look in on third down when they had to settle for the field goal early, it was because the timing and the motion was a problem. So I think that's something worth watching too as they move forward. They just need to clean up the operation a little bit because the margins are too slim down there.
Yeah, no, it's totally fair to think about how they operated. Just quick update. Front desk told me that was just a test they're running today. There's nothing wrong.
Oh, big test guy.
There we go.
9 a.m. on a Monday morning. Just everybody be checked out. Let's get that fire alarm test going. Start the week off right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Ain't going to get us on liability.
Who did we hit? Rich in Albertville?
We did.
Okay. We'll go to Rob and Aniana then. Welcome into the show, Rob. How are you?
Hey, this is Bob Patrick. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great.
Bob, how are
Thanks
you,
for
buddy?
calling.
I've been listening to you, and I agree, Greg, what you said about the hideout. It's dirty, cheap, illegal. I officiated 29 years in the Southeastern Conference. Did not have that play one time ever even tried. As far as and by the way, when he scored, he spun the ball. That should be a penalty as well.
I don't know if we can do that anymore.
But Rob, answer me this. And I talked to probably 6 different officials in the last 48 hours trying to understand because, frankly, what y'all do on the field is the most thankless job in the world. You guys you never get praised for the calls you make right. And there are a lot more good calls made than bad calls. But talking to some officials
than coaches send in good plays.
Yo, you guys do a heck of a job. You really do. You do a heck of a job, and you deserve to be commended because I don't see a lot of people that whine and complain and yell from the rooftops to run out there to put the stripes on and go out there and do it. That's why I've always been seldom to criticize unless it's really warranted because I'm not the one volunteering to go out there. You don't get rich by being official. Maybe they should, by the way, because it's a freaking hard job, and it requires great talent and skill. But here's my question. Talking to officials the last 2 days, they said that is a remarkably difficult play to officiate. It is a very hard play to officiate, which to me, it puts the onus more on Oklahoma and that you just shouldn't run it than it does almost even on the officials who say, you know what, that's a really, really hard play to officiate. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, when I'm going to answer that question in just a minute. First of all, when the referee and umpire, when we get to the stadium, I haven't been on the field since '99. Okay, so but I was in replay for about 15 years as well. But when you get to the stadium, officials get to the stadium. The first thing the referee and umpire do is go to both dressing rooms, and they coordinate the time for the toss and that sort of stuff. Get the captains. But the last thing they ask of the coaches, do you have any trick plays we need to know about? And if the coach is honest, he will tell you about it if he's got a trick play. So if they still do that, and I don't know whether they do or not, if they ask Oklahoma's coach do you have any trick plays, he should have told them about that play, and they could have stood there and discussed it, and they should have been looking for it.
Yeah.
Because you know they've got it. They should have been looking for it. I was working a college game one time in my life. It was a small college game before I got in the SEC, and it was run, and it was called. We called it. So I've had it one time in my life, and it was called. So I don't know how hard it is to. I know I was watching the game on TV, and I called it sitting in front of my TV that play's illegal. But what's TV show? Yeah, I'm not sure he was even set. You might can tell me that, Greg. I'm not sure that he was ever set for a second with the other 10 players on offense. Was he still slowly walking towards the sideline.
They couldn't see him. They couldn't see him on the camera.
We
I would
only had
imagine
one
that he
camera
was.
that found him, but yes, the camera that found him, he was set.
Yeah, he was right in front of
like,
the side judge right there.
He was. I don't know how that. I just anyway. It's a slimy play, dirty play.
Well, we appreciate your calling your feedback.
Cheap. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's just a little dirty. It's not like it's a fumble rooski or whatever, where it's like a legitimate trick play. It's like an intentional. It's not the annexation of Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of a play that you can get away with. And frankly, like if I was coaching Pee Wee, you might see it. It happens. But I'm surprised. I'm just surprised to see it run at that level.
Yeah.
It was a surprise to me, frankly.
All
And
right,
by the way, I think we ran it in Pee Wee for the Chatsworth Chiefs. So I think we ran it. So
Who's your
I
coach?
remember it. His name was Rodney. I don't remember what his last name was. But then when I played the West Valley Eagles, I played for Alan Adams, and he got in a fight with a parent after the game and got suspended. So I remember that.
Well, yeah, the playing time for that parent's kid probably wasn't where it needed to be. So
that was what it was. You only had to play 4 snaps, and that parent's kid went down and wanted to throw hands. And,
what else
and
would
Alan
you do?
Adams was ready to throw hands. Like I remember it very vividly.
I mean, you don't play my kid, we fight. That's usually the way it works.
It's not comfortable when you see your dad and your coach literally wrestling on the ground post game. But it happens. I remember it. Seriously,
You didn't
had
say
a
it was
clear
with your
impact on
dad
me.
that he wanted to fight.
Here I am. It wasn't my dad.
Okay.
I was a decent player. I got more than 4 snaps in. I was out there grinding at left tackle.
Grinding.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
All right, John, who's next? Who we need to go to on the phones?
We're going to take Johnny in Orlando.
Yes. Are you going to Disney today, Johnny?
No Disney. But hey, I do want to say this: Cole ignoring a alarm in his building to get through the sacks is probably one of the greatest moments in radio history.
Is that not Cole in a nutshell?
Priorities.
That is dedication beyond belief. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, having a fire drill at 9 a.m. on a Monday morning, also unbelievable when there's no
Correct.
fire.
Yeah.
So.
Confirm.
Well, probably a 12-year-old that pulled the switch that's trying to get you. But
probably an Oklahoma fan doesn't want him
out.
talking about it. Doesn't want him talking about the game. That's probably what it was.
As an Alabama fan, so I mentioned that to say that I'm really objective about this. When I was traveling yesterday, I was listening to Sirius Radio in college, and Dari Noka, I think, is that his last name on the SEC channel?
Yes.
Dari?
Yes. Yep.
I really like him, and he was mentioning that in the SEC coaches meetings in June, they spent 30 minutes on that play alone, which is kind of weird to say they spent 30 minutes on talking about one play, but the coaches went over the fact of how illegal the hideout play is at those meetings. And then I'm just trying to reference this to the SEC statement that they made after the game about how they just missed it. It was a blown call, they missed it. But considering how much it changed the outcome of that game, and again, I'm an Alabama fan, so it's not like I'm just an Auburn fan that's upset at the officials. Why doesn't if the SEC comes out with such a strong statement, why don't they do something about it? Because making a statement really doesn't change anything, especially if you look at the intentions of the coaching staff to make that call if they sat there and talked about it for 30 minutes in a meeting in June. And everyone knew you're not supposed to do that. It's unethical. So why wouldn't the league maybe forfeit the game on them or do something to actually show that there's a precedent for breaking the rules? By making a statement and nothing changing, it doesn't really change anything.
Well, you can't forfeit the game.
I think you make a couple of good. Yeah, you make a couple of good points. You're not going to go that far. And I do think that there will be further repercussions. I don't think they're going to tell you what they are publicly, but I think that there will be. So, GMAC, I don't know where you are on that.
Yeah, you can't forfeit the game because guess what? And this is going to sound really, really hard for people to grasp and wrap their head around. You can't forfeit the game because that one play did not determine the outcome. There's never one play that determines the outcome. And I think us as players, I can promise you this, okay, just having lived this, played this, NFL, college, what have you. I have never not one time gone into a Monday meeting and or a Sunday meeting, whatever it is the team reconvenes. I can guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, Hugh Freeze will stand up there in front of his team and say, guess what, boys, we let him off the hook. Here's what we can do better next time to avoid the outcome being determined by that one specific play. That's what you do if you want to grow and be better and improve and reach your potential. You don't focus and dwell and think, oh man, we got ripped off. No, that's not what winners do. Winners look at it, take ownership and say, you know what? We got on that play, guys. I'll do a better job as a coach. Coach Durkin will do a better job as a coach. We'll try to be better so that doesn't happen. We'll try to get a timeout called. We'll try to see everything. We're not going to catch it all. We might not. It happens. Like, we'll try. DJ Durkin, we had him on the sideline screaming, timeout, 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 try to get timeout. He couldn't get it. So we'll be better for you guys.
Posted a zoomed-in video on Hugh Freeze and said, look, he's not trying to call a timeout, Greg.
No, he wasn't, because he's calling offensive plays, for the record. Like, he's got a lot going on, but Durkin was trying to get it, and he couldn't get it. Like, it happens. It's not the first time it's happened where a coach is trying to get a timeout, you don't get one. It happens. But guess what? We got to do a better job here getting more shot plays in the direction of Ken Coleman. We got to do a better job of making sure that Eric Singleton finds one-on-ones. We got to do a better job of making sure our protection holds up. We got to do a better job of getting our quarterback comfortable, not scared to death to make a mistake, so he just cuts it loose every once in a while as opposed to just hanging on to it on 8 different occasions for longer than 4 seconds. Like, we got to do a better job with that. We got to do a better job with all of that. And that's where growth can come. Because there's no way on earth Hugh Freeze is sitting up there saying, guys, well, the SEC cost us this one. That's not what winners do. So I think for us as fans, we can be hurt by it. If you are an Auburn fan, you can be hurt by it. That's fine. But acknowledge, hey, guess what? That one play did not determine the outcome. So there shouldn't be some type of forfeiture or anything like that. Guess what? I would fine Oklahoma. I think they will get fined. I absolutely, I don't know if it'll be public, but I bet you something will come of it. Like Cole said, something's going to come of it. But forfeiting the game is ridiculous.
That's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not. We're not going to have that conversation. We will have more conversation on this and other college football related items. But first, tell our listeners about Shannara Flooring, Greg.
Well, Funa's guys do a great job of stockpiling inventory. That's huge. And because of the amount of inventory they have under their roof, 50,000 square feet of premium Core-Tech flooring, they are going to give it to you with a savings of 20 to 40% off. No one in town has the Core-Tech that Fu has. Every single plank comes with the 20 mil wear layer. It's built to last and priced to move. It's really durable, dependable, and will add value to your home or office. So remember Shannara Flooring. When you want Core-Tech, call who? Call Fu. Call them today at 205-518-6423 or go online at fuandyou.com.
All right, we'll talk to Nick De La Torre next on how Florida handles this situation moving forward, right here on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. 8:27 Monday, September 22nd. A little bit late getting to Nick De La Torre, covers the Florida Gators. Joins us now for the On3 Sports Network. Sorry we are a little behind here, Nick, but did want to get your thoughts on not even so much the game. I did think the Florida defense actually played with good energy, actually flew around a little bit, gave good effort in this game, did some good things for about 3.5 quarters. I think they just ran out of gas late. Where does Florida go? How do you manage this? We get to a point in time when things are just finished. I think we're there. That's me personally. But how does Florida manage this the rest of the way through?
Yeah, well, it's the schedule hasn't changed. There's no free agency, so you've got your team. I think Florida's defense has played well. They were wearing down a little bit against Miami. They're late. The only knock on them maybe this year is not getting as much pressure. Some of that's been a simple offense they've played and maybe not getting off the field. A couple long fields against Miami, but
all right, we'll try to get Nick De La Torre back. And while we're on it, Greg, just you go back and look at this matchup, and it was one that I was pretty impressed with Florida's defense. I know you give up 26 points, 13 of those in the fourth quarter, though. This game was 13-7 going into the fourth. Now the offense, yeah. I don't have a lot of excuses for. You couldn't open anything up in the run game. The looks should have. You didn't. But
I don't know what their plan was. Honestly, like I'm watching it, and I'm watching that one offensive drive they put together. Why did they not go more to the perimeter? Like they had some success on like the pistol pitch sweeps. Like they had some success outside the tackle. Like why did they not try a little more of that? Instead on, 3rd and 1s, they're running it up inside into the teeth. I just don't understand what the plan was.
Yeah, Nick De La Torre back with us. Lost him there for a moment. We asked you kind of how Florida handles this moving forward the rest of the year, Nick.
Yeah, you've got a lot of soul searching to do. Billy Napier said we got to go back to the drawing board, which fans love to hear in year 4. But it's just been a struggle on offense. And some of that, I think you count to DJ really not playing. A young player needed that development time, wasn't able to play in spring camp, gets a calf injury right before fall camp, didn't really throw live, or not really, just didn't throw live until the week before LIU. I think you're seeing some growing pains. He's missed some throws. I don't know if that's changing the play calling based on what you think he can do, what you're seeing Monday through Friday. But, yeah, Florida doesn't really have an identity on offense. They haven't found consistent success with anything on offense. And at some point, the defense is going to wear down, like we saw against Miami, if they're going to be continually asked to pitch shutouts or to have to get 3 and outs and wait for the offense to be able to score.
What do you think of just I don't want to call it like a lack of imaginative play calling, but at what point did they just say, hey, Russ Callaway, you handle the play calling? Like, we need to get something going. Like, so just another set of eyes. I know that Billy's bread and butter is calling plays. I know he loves doing it. But at what point do you just say, hey, you know what, maybe I'm not doing what I need to do. And he decides to give it over to Callaway, who might open it up a little more.
Yeah, I don't know that that'll happen unless you're forced to. I think, for Billy, he really likes game planning. He likes scheming. I think calling plays is the closest you'll get to playing quarterback again. And I think it's part of the job and part of the game he really wants, and he believes in himself. And unless you're forcing him to, I don't know that he's going to come to that conclusion, because I think he enjoys doing it and thinks he can do it. Some of it can be boiled down to play calling. Some of it can just be the execution of the plays. I think it's a mixture of both. I don't know that we'll see that change. If there is a change, I think this would be the week to do it, where you have off before, you go into really the more teeth of your schedule with Texas next week, Texas A&M, Georgia, Mississippi State coming up.
Nick De La Torre joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. I want to go back to Billy for a moment. I've heard different things about where Florida is financially. I know the bye week is this week. I know the stretch that comes up after the bye week. Again, is this a wait to see if things can be righted and we have confidence moving forward? Is there a date in which things need to go past before a move is made? Like I said, Nick, I'm to the point now where I think we've talked through all the different ways that this thing could have been back in between the lines, and it's just not going to get there. So how does the administration manage this, and what are the factors in which they can or cannot make decisions at a certain point in time?
Yeah, the way the buyout's structured, it's half of whatever's owed within 30 days, and then you pay in installments after that. So I think people have been throwing around that $20 million number. It's not $20 million right away. Billy's been given I've railed on Florida's administration in the past saying, they haven't built facilities and everyone was building facilities, things like that they hadn't really given support. And I think you go all the way back to Jim McElroy. I mean, Jim McElroy was after games saying, I hope the administration supports us the way that, we need to be. Billy's gotten everything. Florida has a massive staff. They have a Gator-made program that is sending guys to business opportunities in Japan and Miami and New York and Atlanta to help them network for things after football. There's every resource that you could have, you have at Florida, and you're just not getting the job done. I think Billy understands that. I just don't know if Scott Strickland looks at it and says, like, hey, we've invested a lot. Let's try to see if it can work out because of how much we've invested into the football program. I've been here since 2013, and I think the administration has supported this coaching staff and this program more than potentially the last three combined.
It's pretty amazing how many resources they have, and it's understandable. And it's a remarkably attractive job. But in fairness, it's been 4 coaches in the last 11 years that have been at the helm. I think it's still super desirable for sure. But is it as desirable now as maybe it once was, given the amount of turnover and the expectations? For example, McElroy 2 SEC title game berths, and they couldn't run him out the door fast enough. Similar for Mullen, gets to the SEC title game, things fall flat the following year, he's out of there. Billy's been given tons of time, but for the most part, it's been kind of a quick trigger when things start to go a little sideways in the past. So how attractive is the job now compared to what it once was?
Yeah, it's a tough job. I think if you look at it and you say, Florida, if I'm a coach, I look, well, Florida, they're planning on building, this $1 billion stadium renovation. They've got the indoor facility. They've got all the facilities that you can imagine. And I look at the investment that they've made. I look at what Florida Victorious and what the NIL collective has been able to raise and the kind of support you get. And I think, yeah, I can go recruit Florida, Georgia. And I think Florida is still an attractive job. It's got a really large, very passionate fan base. I think the last 4 coaches have found that out. And I think Florida is still an attractive job. It's not an easy job, and it's not a job I think you learn how to be a head coach. I think we've seen a bunch of coaches who, Jim McElroy had some big experience in Alabama, but then was only a head coach at Colorado State. Dan Mullen was the first-time head coach. Billy's first time head coaching was at UL. Second time, I just think this is a really tough job. You need somebody who is used to this kind of pressure. On paper, Dan Mullen made all the sense in the world. He was the offensive coordinator here who helped set the expectations that the fan base has, was a head coach in the SEC. Like, on paper, Dan made sense. He did really well with Jim McElroy's players, and then I think that COVID year, things just kind of took a turn. In terms of the program in its entirety. But I think Florida is an attractive job. I think it is a hard job, though.
No, I don't think anybody would disagree, but I think everybody would agree that if you can get it going, it's one of the best jobs in America with everything that's there in front of you. What do you see from this team offensively that can be turned around, that can be different? Like Greg was saying right when you jump back on, some of the stuff that should be there is just not. I mean, some of it is play calling. Like I would agree with Greg. Like some of the misdirection seems completely untimed. Where it is on the field at times seems just egregious a little bit. So where does this offense go to find any sort of way? They're not going to get the defense they got Saturday very often moving ahead, but how do they find their way to make this even acceptable on that side of the football?
Yeah, I think we've said it for 3 or 4 years now with Billy. I thought it would be a run-first team. When I watched the team in the spring and the summer, I thought, okay, they should be able to run the ball. I thought they were better run blocking than pass pro, and then run left behind a fifth-year senior left tackle, a second-year starting left guard, a returning All-American. Run left. I heard Greg when I was coming back in, they have a lot of success running out of the pistol, I think, especially when they go off tackle. They just don't run it a lot. And I think this offense, when it was good at UL with Leo Lewis, was using the running game and a successful running game and getting the quarterback to run to then open up some shots down the field. We just haven't seen the first couple games defenses kind of played a shell and made DJ dink and dunk and throw, and he wasn't super accurate on those passes. And now you're getting guys, stacking the box against the run, and you're still running kind of like into the teeth of it. So I think there's just, like you guys said, there's more feel of what the defense is doing and maybe being less rigid in what you've worked on and having other things to go to be able to react to what the defense is doing or what your guys are showing they're comfortable with or uncomfortable with on Saturday.
Finally, as you evaluate the rest of the year, I mean, I still think they're a tough out. Call me crazy. Like if they beat Texas in 2 weeks, like it wouldn't shock me. I mean, I don't think it'd shock anybody. Is there any way to salvage the season, I guess, to say the least?
Yeah, you can win out. 9-3 is pretty good with the schedule. I think
that's the only way. Winning out. Oh my goodness.
9-3 is it. 9-3 is a good record. It's frustrating for fans because I think when you look at this talent, when you look at the roster, it's the most talent that Billy's had. And I think that was the big excitement coming into the year. You have DJ, and he showed flashes, and you thought like, hey, this is going to be. Fans haven't liked Billy's play calling since he's been here, but hey, with DJ, that should change a little bit. He might make the play calling look better. With the talented receivers you have around him, with the offensive line you have coming back, I think the fans have been frustrated because I think what you're looking at, I feel the same way. Like Florida has enough talent to win any Saturday. There's not a Saturday the rest of the year. If they win, I'd be surprised if they won. They're just not playing winning football on Saturdays, and that's been the frustrating part. So I think if you can get a win over Texas, beating Georgia, beating Florida State, those are wins that the fan base has been craving. Haven't beaten Georgia in years. You beat Florida State last year. That felt good for the Florida fans, but to lose to Florida State at home a year after they were 2-10, that would be a devastating end to the year. So there's games left on the schedule that can make Florida fans feel good, but Billy's 2 games under 500 in 4 years. Fans aren't going to be happy, with a 6-6 season that leaves your coach 500 after 4 years. So outside of 8 wins, I don't know if Florida fans are going to feel good about the season.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't feel very optimistic right now. That's for sure. It's going to be a struggle and one that I think is problematic. Do you think this will be if the event they lose to Texas or whatnot? Do you think this could be a scenario where they decide after that game? Like, is this going to be a mid-year deal? Like, what do you think could go down here in the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that Scott Strickland, kind of like I said before, wants to make a move. Obviously, his hand can be forced depending on what the games look like. I don't know with the way the transfer portal is changing. We're only going to have one portal, and we don't know if that's in December or January. But a coach, like I said, I think a lot of the coaches you would want at Florida might be coaching in a playoff, and what will your roster look like? So there's so many moving parts and so much different dynamics here with the ever-changing rules. I don't know it's the famous Jeremy Foley line, if a move, I'm going to butcher it, but if a move has to be made eventually, it should be made immediately, is one that Florida fans love throwing at ADs when the coaches start losing. But I'm not sure. I don't believe that Scott Strickland wants to make a move. But the way that Florida's schedule stacks up and you have to start winning games or else the decision will be made for Scott. I just don't know when that would happen in season.
Absolutely. Nick, great stuff, man. Thanks for the time. I appreciate you hopping on and trying what could be next for Florida Gator football. We'll catch up soon.
Thanks, guys.
Here you go. Nick De La Torre joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. I like that Foley line, Greg, and I do believe that there's some accuracy to it. I also believe that, like Nick said, we don't really know where we are right now. We don't know where we're going. From a roster management standpoint and maybe a player retainment standpoint, as you stated before, you fire him now, you could have 15 guys in the portal tomorrow.
Correct.
And can you even field a team if certain guys decide to say, you know what, I'm taking my red shirt, I'm out, I'm done. We're not doing this. So
yes,
there are different reasons that you have to look at certain things.
I think that's the toughest part about what's going on right now in college football is that you have the opportunity to redshirt after 4 games. And a lot of guys are going to preserve that extra year. This is one of the hardest weeks of the year for a lot of teams. Like once you get past that 4th game, a lot of guys are going to go to the coaching staff and say, all right, well, I'm redshirting. Or, all right, I'm planning on going to the portal after the season, so don't play me. Or I'm going to do this, so don't do this. Like, I think that's a real challenge in the modern era. So I think it does alter some of the decision-making. But I don't know about you. Like, I still think this Florida team can be competitive. Call me crazy. With how they play defense, they can still be competitive. I know the record's not great. I know long-term, maybe it doesn't look great for Billy Napier, but I'm not willing to throw in the towel just yet on this team. I'm not. Are you, Cole? Are you saying that this team can no longer be competitive? Because I think they can. I'm not saying they're going to win a bunch of games. I'm just saying I think they can still be competitive.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. The offense is gross, man. I mean, I didn't even see it as close as you did watching this game. And part of that is Miami's defense.
But I
Miami's
think Miami's
defense is really good. They're really
I
good,
think Miami's
and they
amazing.
have. And I watched that game yesterday, and I'm sitting here thinking, you got extra defenders that are flying down to the line of scrimmage, and you can't find any way to take advantage of that down the field. You knew it was coming. It's not like they were waiting until after the ball was snapped. I mean, you got safety walking up on the end of the line of scrimmage, 2-3 seconds for the ball snapped. I mean, you got linebackers walking up. You had corner crashes. You had nickel pressure. Like, I don't know how you don't say they are committed to stopping the run. We have to push the ball down the field. And it's we talked about this a bunch in the offseason. Call it and run it. Like, just, hey, take the shot. If there's not 2 safeties deep and one shaded to your side of this guy, just throw it deep. I thought that's what Auburn did a really nice job of in this game. We talked about it last week that they had to do it. When you get the one-on-ones, you got to throw them. And they threw them, and it paid off. And then some of the misdirection stuff and the timing of the misdirection stuff, it's Billy's offense is so great and unique because everything is married to one another. You can run 11 different plays out of something that looks exactly the same way, and I haven't seen enough of that. I haven't seen the building of it, and I think the quarterback's feet. I still think he's trying to protect his lower body somehow. It looks like he's like jumping up he's like doing high knees in the pocket sometimes when he's moving around. I don't know what's he doing. So, but the defense did play hard. I was really impressed with Florida's defense because I didn't expect to see that kind of effort with where they are in the season and what their record is. It's, that part of it I did not anticipate seeing, but I have very little confidence that they can be super competitive the rest of the way through. I hate that I'm there on it, but it's just kind of where my brain is with them right now. If you need a new home, your brain should be with Gusty Goulas and the Gusty Goulas Group. They've served more than 3,000 home buyers and sellers in the greater Birmingham area since 2012, recognized both nationally and locally as Greater Birmingham, Alabama's #1 team in homes sold. Gusty has over 835-star Google reviews. Now, most agents are going to start marketing after you list with them. Not Gusty. He's been doing that. Just Google Gusty Goulas Group, brokered by eXp Realty. See what people are saying. Or call 205-542-1996 today. That's 205-542-1996. Or go to GustyGoulasGroup.com and start packing. All right, when we come back, we're going to get off Auburn, get off Florida, a couple other games in the SEC we need to begin to discuss. We'll do that right after this on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. It is Monday, September 22nd, 8:50 a.m. right here on Jocks. Listen online, jocksfm.com. The app is in your app store, iPhone, Android. Download that for free, or you can always listen on the go on the app or tell your home smart speaker to enable the Jock skill.
Bill Smith Buick, GMC's GMC Dealer of the Year, the national champion of GMC dealers. You just go take the short drive up to Coleman. You'll see what I'm talking about. The deals on the lot are off the charts good, like a GMC Sierra 1500 SLT, $66,835 is the list price. You can get it for $14,500 off the sticker. Get you out the door for just over $52,000. Deals like that to keep it coming back. There's a reason why 75% of their business is repeat customers. That's because you have a better experience when you shop with Bill Smith. Take the short drive up to Coleman. You'll be glad you did. You can also shop online, have it delivered right to your driveway at Bill Smith Buick, GMC.com.
All right, when we come back, we'll get into Missouri, their big win over the weekend, Tennessee, dominant win over UAB. When we come back, we'll discuss all those and more next on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Talk a little bit of college football outside of coaching searches, coaching changes. One that's going to lead to more of that conversation quickly. GMAC was Arkansas and Memphis. We had Ryan Silverfield on the show last week. Heck of a win for his group, and one that has to hurt more just because Arkansas's got this game in hand. And one of the best peanut punches you're ever going to see. Jarring the football out. Just an incredible play. Memphis able to take the ball away from Arkansas and prevent them from a go-ahead score with just maybe less than 2 minutes left in the game. And Taylor Green, another good game. Did have a couple poor decisions when he threw a couple interceptions down the field, but heck of a win for the Memphis Tigers and Ryan Silverfield.
Man, a great win. And I'll tell you this. Say what you want about Taylor Green. Oh, that dude is a monster.
Ball
he
player.
Really is. Golly, he's gotten good.
So Memphis is at FAU, Tulsa at UAB, South Florida at Rice, Tulane at ECU, and Navy. Tulane goes down to Ole Miss over the weekend. Not a strong quarterback performance there in that one. And we'll spend more time on that and a couple other games around the Southeastern Conference next hour. But Tyler Watts gives us an early preview of